It was very quiet. All the contracting work got cancelled. But it's enabled me to focus on the coaching side, which is really where my heart lies. That's what I want to be doing.
Have you done a 5-day challenge yet with Phil's thing?
I haven't, no. I've been really struggling with the tech on that.
Okay. As in, like, getting it done?
Yeah, getting it all set up. Yeah.
Well, hopefully as in, is that like finding time to do it, or just like getting to grips with like what to do?
Getting it to work.
Oh, okay. I try and help. I do my best to help.
Although I have to say, I made a good inroad yesterday. I thought, right, I'm just going to go back through module 2 and work through it again and just double check everything. So I've already identified a couple of glitches.
Okay.
That I saw.
You know the best way to do it, don't you? Is just do one and learn from those mistakes and just do it. You know it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that today. Who we got here? So Dale, how are you doing? I think you're on mute. How are you? All right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just trying to get my challenge out.
Good. All right. Nice. Have you done one yet?
I haven't done one yet. No, so this is my first time.
Okay. No worries. And when's the deadline to start?
Keep shifting it. But it's not moving this time. So I want to start the marketing next Monday. Monday coming. Yeah, next Monday.
All right. We'll talk about that in a bit more detail. I'm going to just want to introduce everyone, get to know everyone, and then I will go into each what you want from me in terms of that. So is it Leah and Paula, or is it Leah?
It's just Lee. I'm the lead part of Lee and Paula.
Brilliant. Okay, brilliant.
Hi.
I didn't ask Dale what you do, but I'll come back to that. So Lee, what do you do?
I help artists to sell more art online.
Oh, amazing. Great. And have you done a challenge?
I've just finished my 9th challenge. So I'm pretty old hat at this, but it's the first one using all of Phil's stuff.
Oh, okay. And how did that go?
It was epic. The results weren't as good as I was hoping, but in terms of success, from implementing all the steps and, you know, me handling all the tech stuff and building my own bot. I mean, I feel like I'm flying. To me, it's like it's the #1 best challenge I've ever had, even though the numbers don't agree with that. So
yeah,
it's
really always good. About numbers though, right? It's like weight loss. It's not always about the numbers. You can look very different, right? So it's like I always feel sometimes the best challenges. I'm like, oh my god, I'm delivering. I've been on a phone to Phil before, going, mate, I'm delivering the best content I've ever done, and no one's buying.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the next course you do it, and you're like, I think I had 12% conversion rate, and you're just like,
yeah,
it really depends on it. But I think the most you got out of that is knowing that you run a great operation for confidence, right?
Well, there were a few hiccups, I have to admit, because obviously it was the first time I was so immersed in like a system.
Yeah.
Rather than, and I think maybe this is actually something that I want to talk to you about. I think it's like I was so immersed in the system that I forgot the me part of it.
Okay.
I wasn't sort of as focused on just being me, and I think maybe that's where the slight disconnect was. So.
Yeah, 110%. Yeah, I'd 100% come on to that, definitely. Del, what do you do?
So broadly, I do sales and marketing for people who want to get into corporate companies.
Okay.
Specifically for this challenge, I am helping data scientists to use LinkedIn to get into corporate clients.
Wow. Okay, brilliant. And we still got to do a 5-day for you, haven't we? Okay, yeah, we'll come on.
So I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll talk about that in a sec. Right, I've got Laura and Pamela, but I'm not sure if they're on or they're just hiding. Right, well, there they are. Laura, how are you? I'm just going to bring you off mute here.
Hello. I can't. Good, thanks. Sorry, I didn't realise I was hiding and lurking and not.
That's all right, don't worry. What do you do?
I do done-for-you marketing for companies, basically. So I work for small businesses, predominantly family businesses, and so if they're very good, I work for a lot of builders and facilities management companies and companies like that who are really good at what they do. Like they've come from usually some trade or technical expertise.
Yeah.
And they want to just try and get that going, build that. They've lived on referrals and that sort of area and that sort of pipeline, and they want to get the marketing in place and to grow their own. Yeah, so that's me.
Have you done a 5-day challenge yet?
I have, and I feel that I've pitched it wrong, because I ended up with a lot of people like me that are, you know, solopreneurs working on their own and doing their niches, and I really need to be more with the sort of commercial directors. So I'm not sure how I can spin it round to position it differently.
Okay, all right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Did you ever feel that maybe you could have gone with the flow and sold them something, and maybe it's made you open up your eyes to maybe there's a market there for you?
Yeah, my biggest problem is my biggest bottleneck is my own fear and belief, and I totally, I've got all the stuff there, I've got all the content, and I am my own biggest problem.
That's fine. All right, we'll talk about that 100%. We'll come on to that. And then Pamela, how are you? Just gonna get you watching. There you go.
Hi. Sorry, I'm good. I'm just having a few technical issues.
All right, you're there. So what do you do?
I'm a career coach.
Right.
So I work with professionals that have got, say, between 5 and 20 years experience. So not execs and not graduates, just kind of that middle bunch that want to progress, really, is who I work with.
Okay, that's fine. So have you done a 5-day challenge?
Yeah, I've done 2.
You've done 2 already. How did they go for you?
Very well, yeah, very good. Followed Phil's processes original course on the first one, and the second one was a little bit of both, because I think he launched the mastery course just as I was about to do my next challenge. So yeah, both went really well. Very good engagements and things like that. So yeah, I was happy with them.
I'm going to move to a bedroom because Carnage is about to walk through my door. That's what I go in Alba's room. Yeah. Stop it. I didn't expect anyone to come home. Right, so what I do, if I ask you all just to mute yourself, and then what I do is come around you one by one, and I'll just give you the best kind of advice that I can give. You'll probably find that I'm straight to the point type of guy. So I will do my best to give you as much value as I possibly can to hopefully either give you some direction, some courage to take some action, maybe looking at things in a different way. I've been working with Phil since 2018 now, and I spent probably the first year and a half not listening to him, and just paying him money just to tell me to do stuff, and never really listening, thinking I could do it better. But since we finally done it, I run an online brand called The Man Coach, and we're running a challenge in a minute now. We've got about 900 people in there right now. And we usually get anywhere between 8 and 12% sort of conversion rates through there. I also work on the side with business owners in terms of making them as effective as possible in terms of making them as effective in terms of their operations, being effective with their working practice, having the confidence to be able to do what they want to do, you know, running a show, getting balance between family and life. I think everyone can appreciate being an entrepreneur. You end up I've got to work 16 to 18 hours a day to be successful, and we forget everything else. Okay, so just to give you a very quick background, because we're limited on time. So what I'm going to do is start with Lou. So Lou, if I ask you to unmute.
Okay.
Okay, so when you come on, so what was the thing that you think that you wanted most from this workshop here?
My biggest challenge is the amount of time I can sit and work.
Okay.
I have problems with joints and arthritis and all sorts. Yeah. So trying to put everything into the day, I can schedule a day. I use the Pomodoro technique to break it down into chunks and work on it. But I think it's that nervousness around doing enough movement and looking after myself, which will increase the pain levels.
Yeah.
But it's good pain because I need to keep things moving.
Yeah.
But limited time throughout the day that I can actually sit.
Okay.
Because it'll get to a point where things go into spasm. So I think there's part of that is valid. And I know sort of, you know, I can feel it physically towards the certain times of the day where things go into spasm. But I do think part of it has now become a mental block.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
And is stopping me being as effective with my time as I used to be and as productive with it.
Okay.
Both on a personal level.
Yeah.
In terms of getting up as early and out as early for a walk and doing my movement that I need to do, and the actual productivity for the business side.
The business. Okay, so just give me a brief outline. So Monday to Friday, do you have the same routine? Do you have the same hours?
Yeah, I tend to keep the same routine.
Great. And what time do you start?
Well, ideally, I like to get up at 5:30.
Yeah.
And then that from 5:30 up until about 9.
Yeah.
Is, you know, getting ready. It's getting out for a walk.
Okay.
It's meditation.
Yeah.
That sort of
the morning routine. And then
routine.
you officially sit down for work at 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. And then at what time do you finish?
I finish at 5.
Finish at 5. So between those two shifts, tell me when your breaks are.
I take mini breaks every 25 minutes.
Okay. So all right. So we do 25-minute spells. Yeah. Okay.
I'll take a longer break after each hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from 9 o'clock, tell me what you work through to before you take the break. Is it 25 minutes and then you take your break?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do you find that's disrupting the flow of work that you're doing?
I have found that with the mastery work that I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay.
I seem to be able to manage it more with when I'm doing training design.
Yeah.
I seem to be able to chunk it down more to be able to do that.
Okay.
But with the mastery, because I think it's because I need to concentrate so much more because of the tech side of it, which isn't my strength.
Yeah.
I am finding, that does interrupt it.
So in terms of the tech side of things, is there not somebody that you can hire to do that side of things?
Not something I can afford at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. So just exploring that option. The other thing is that the work that you do you do it on your mobile or do you do it on your laptop?
I have it set up so I've got my laptop and monitor and separate keyboard.
Okay.
So it, in
so I think that when you so this is just so I got a better picture, obviously. So I think like having 25 minutes, there's still a lot to do in the 25 minutes. Okay. And like for me, and this is for everybody, between 9 and 12:30, you might have or not seen any of the training videos I put up. I truly believe that between 9 and 12:30 is our kill zone. Okay. And I call that the kill zone because that's when we can really get after things. I feel that when we get past 12:30, it doesn't matter who you are, we're going to wane in some way, shape or form, mentally, physically and emotionally. We're going to wane, and eventually entrepreneur problems are going to end up catching up with us that we have to do. Now, I think what we have to look at is that between 12 and 12:30 is to avoid distractions. So that is not looking at your emails. Okay. And I know that's going to be difficult for some until I only check my emails at 1:30 once a day for half an hour. That's the only window that I leave for emails because I know that if I look at that emails at 9 o'clock, I'm going to have to spend an hour dealing with probably some problems that I've got to pass on to my team, or something that's going to piss me off, or something that's going to put me not in the right frame of mind to be able to focus on my
head. Yeah.
Get you in your head. So that time between 9 and 12:30 for you, you're breaking it down into 25-minute slots, standing up, loosening up, walking around, doing your routine. All of that stuff, I feel that between 9 and 12:30 has to be dedicated on whatever is so what's your number one priority? What is the biggest thing that you're trying to move forwards?
It's getting the challenge launched.
Getting the challenge launched. Okay.
Get at least up to module 5.
Yeah.
So I can just go with it.
Okay.
It won't be perfect.
Yeah.
There will be mistakes, but to just suck it up and go with it.
Give me a deadline date that you're going to set your challenge for.
3rd of August is going to be when I start the promo.
So that's when you're starting the promo. Let me get my diary up. 2 secs. So you're going to launch that. So what date is it going to start? Are you going to do a 2-week launch or a 1-week launch?
2 weeks leading up to it.
So the 17th of August is the start date. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've said that in front of everyone as a little bit of accountability.
Yes,
right?
17th.
So I've just written a note down there that we're going to follow that up. And you'll add me to the link so that I can be part of the challenge and everyone else here so we can come and support you. So I think that between 9 and 12:30 is purely about the challenge. not about social media, not about making phone calls, not about anything else. And I think that if you become, like, in terms of building a pattern of routine and effective working practices, it's kind of like, all right, breaking down the chunks of the things that you need to do to ensure that that is done. It's like, what is the most important thing that you need to do? So what is the first thing that you need to make sure you're doing to make sure that launch is ready?
In terms of mastery, I need to complete the modules.
Okay. What are your 5 challenges for each day?
In terms of the health?
Yeah. So when you deliver your challenge to everybody for over the 5 days, what are the 5 challenges that you've set your guys?
Oh, the first one is a life satisfaction quiz that they complete on day 1.
Yeah.
On day 2, will be identifying their dominant inner critic.
Great. So you know them all. That's the only. So you know them. Have you filmed them?
No.
So my first suggestion to you is to film them all. The more that you do about the challenge. So I get the modules are great, but what I feel you could do more of is the practical side of things. And let me tell you why. Because when you film the videos for your challenge, you have a better understanding about what's going on. And I want you to visualize it more. Go and send them away to Fiverr, get the subtitles on them, get them up, get the copy written. And I reckon by the end of this week, you can have scheduled the copy, the videos, all in your Facebook group ready to go. Yeah. You can also then do your Q&A posts. And by the end of this week, you can have scheduled all the material that you need for the 5 days by the end of this week. That's done and dusted. Sometimes I think we can get sucked into the theory and we can miss the practical side of things. And I think that if we focus more on that practical, we understand stuff. And as good as all the modules that Phil has taught you, you can't get anything better than actual being in amongst it and learning and doing it. Lee mentioned it. She's done 9. Then she watched some of Phil's stuff. She did it, and then she ran a great session. I think we need to focus on is having the practical side ready and feeling clarity and confidence in yourself to say, I'm ready for this challenge. Yeah. So in terms of that time in the morning, maybe the first hour of the day, we watch Phil's program. Then the rest of the morning, we work on practical side of things, making sure that the email automation is done, making sure that we're promoting it in our world. Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely. And I think you're spot on. I've got stuck in the theory. Yeah. And I need to move to the practical.
110%. So let's leave it at that because I don't want you to be overwhelmed.
No,
but what I will do is I think I'll have a think about it after this. We need to have some sort of follow-up and accountability for the group. I'd like to do this once a month. So I think that maybe we could just do like, I'll put an action point up on a post of something and you can all write down what you said you were going to do. And then when we come back in here, we can go and find it and come back and hold ourselves accountable. Happy?
That's fabulous. Thank you very much.
Any time, Lou. Any time. Right, let's go to Lee. Just going in order of people I'm looking at on the screen.
Hi, hello.
Good, all right. So what did you think when you come on that you wanted to rattle my brain about?
Well, I had several things. I just want to give you a little background. I've been self-employed 99% of my life. Right. And for the most part, been working for myself and with myself with very little assistance or help, externally. Yeah. As you can see by my title, I now have a business partner called Paula, who's in Canada, who's absolutely amazing. We make a really, really great team. I've recently employed 2 VAs to help. So now I'm kind of getting into the place where I've got other relationships that I'm having to deal with. And I sometimes find that I stumble over that because I was used to being so autonomous. And so it's about me letting go of control and delegating, which I'm getting a whole lot better at doing. But also I find sometimes I get to a place where I want to grab stuff back because people aren't maybe doing things as efficiently as I would, or up to speed or up to standard of what I expect.
So do you know why that is?
No, not really.
It's your business and it's not their business. Okay, so VAs are almost neutral. They're vanilla. So they don't have the same passion or insight or drive or fire or hunger about your business as you do. And they never will.
Yeah.
What you have to be able to do. So I've got 5 staff that work for me now. And one of the biggest areas and one of the biggest things that I had to face, and I went through exactly what you went through, right? It was like, they're not as good as what I want them to be, but they are good and they do their job.
Yeah.
And no one will ever be as good as you because it's your business and it's your brain and it's your vision. Nobody else can have that. It's impossible for us to have the audacity to think that we can be the same, that they can be the same level of investment in you. And I would ask you and challenge you and say, what's the alternative? You taking more stuff back on, then slipping into the overwhelm, the stress.
Yeah.
I always use this analogy, right, of being a business owner. It's like, you might follow it, but American football. So like the quarterback's the guy who throws the ball to everybody, right? He's not the guy trying to stop the other people coming. He's not the guy trying to run down the wings to catch the ball. His only play is to choose to play and action it. And I think the more that you can do that as a business owner, the more you can observe and watch and have quality and control measures in place to make sure people are meeting a set of roles and responsibilities for you. So I'm sure you might have already done this, but in terms of having roles and responsibilities, this is kind of like what I'm expecting. And then having a system in place to go, are you meeting those criteria? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. It's just that I think I was a bit hasty in one of the VAs that I've employed. I mean, she's fantastic, but I think I'm asking, she's taken on responsibilities that she's really doesn't have the expertise for.
Okay. So what can you do about that?
Well, there's one of two things. I can either help her to learn how to do it, but then again, that's going to take up a lot of my time. Or am I actually, was it wrong of me to, or was it wrong of both of us to enter into a contract where, I mean, I said to her, you know, this is a job I want you to do. She said, well, I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to learn how to do it. But it's still not coming up to scratch. It's been some time now. And I'm thinking, fuck, did I make a really, really, sorry, excuse my language, did I make a really, really bad decision here? You know, well, entering into a contract that maybe even in the back of my mind, I knew this wasn't quite the right fit. So what do I do now? I'm feeling like... all my staff knew nothing about my business. They knew nothing about the systems. My right-hand lady in business, Louisa, who's my number 2, knew nothing. And I invested in 6 months in her time and energy, and it paid off. And like I literally spent 2 hours a day going through everything, monitoring her, teaching her. And I think sometimes when we don't see things going our way, I take full responsibility if one of my staff are not good enough. It's like my fault because I haven't put in that time and effort into her. Now, you're right. You've got 2 options. You could just let her go. Okay, you could let her go. Then you've got to take on the workload and then you've got to pay the next VA to take on some workload. Or you can channel your time and energy or a period of your time and energy for the next 3 months to go, I'm going to make it my mission to make this girl know exactly what she's going to do. And she's going to respect me more. There's going to be more connection and you're going to get more loyalty. Totally.
You can never guarantee somebody's going to stay with you or do the job. But I'd like to think that, and this is like relationships, okay? It's like, I would hate to finish a relationship with somebody if I hadn't tried every angle to make that relationship work. Now, if she's a good person and you think she's trustworthy and you think she's got worth investing time in, then invest that time and energy.
What happens if your business partner disagrees with that option?
Who's got the majority vote?
Well, it's a 50-50, but you know, for me, I would always want to persevere until there is just nothing. And even when there's no hope, I still think there's hope. That's my natural inclination. And I would hate to, I never walk away from any relationship anymore. I haven't done this in the past. If it's not from a place of grace and strength for both people. To me, that's really important. That's one of the, you know, the things that I live by. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. And why
would Paula not want for you to pursue that investment?
Well, because she just thinks it's a waste of time.
Okay. But maybe you could get her on here and I'll convince her otherwise.
Yeah. She just thinks that, you know, it's like, it's been going on now for quite some time and if somebody isn't up to speed already with at least a few things, then maybe it's not, maybe it's time to let go.
So, all right, so give me some context. How long has she been working with you?
For about 2.5 months.
2.5 months. How much time have you sat down with her on a one-on-one basis to teach her everything that you want, you and Paula?
Well, not with Paula so much. I've done it with her for at least every week.
And how much time in that week? So have you sat down with her for like a one-on-one and go, this is what I want you to do, this is how we're going to practice it, this is how we're going to follow it up?
We've had, in that time, we've probably had about 8 Zoom calls, which have maybe gone on for half an hour to an hour,
right.
Plus many text conversations. I've recorded videos for her that I've sent to her. You know, I've actually gone through the processes myself and recorded them and sent that to her. You know, I've followed up with so many things, and it's small little mistakes. It's not massive stuff. To me,
and you put her up. Do you put her up on those mistakes as soon as they happen? You do.
Yes, but she gets really narky with me when I do.
All right. So I think you have actually given her quite a lot of time and energy, which I didn't realise. So I think you have to. There's a fine line. There's a line when you go, I've done all I can, and in yourself internally, if you can turn around and say, I've literally given her as much, I've given her all of the tools, and it's not happening, then maybe it's time to reassess that relationship. But I think before you do that, it's always a case of going, okay, just bear in mind she's been with you 2.5 months. You've now got to find someone else and do all of that training again for another 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And what if they don't work out? So it's kind of like a counterbalance. You know internally whether maybe you haven't given her enough or have given her enough. And then it's kind of like asking her, is there something going on behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Is she just not getting it? Is she not enjoying it? Does she want to stay? And I think when you ask a few more questions, you can get a little deeper and maybe see what's happening.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. Total sense.
Okay. All right.
Can I ask one more quick question?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
In terms of the challenge, you know, as I mentioned, I really felt getting all of the systems in place that you know, that with the whole mastery thing is flipping amazing.
Yeah.
What really surprised me was the conversion rate. Prior to doing Phil's course, my conversion rate was between 10 and 15%.
Right.
Consistently, which was amazing. This time it was 3%. 3. And it was like, seriously, like, what the fuck have I done here?
Get rid of him. Ask for your money back.
No ways. I just, the whole bot system, I mean, in the interaction and the engagement in the group was through the roof because of the whole bot system and that. And I frigging loved it.
So why do you think it was 3%?
I just don't know. I've no idea. I mean, the engagement was amazing. We did ask. Obviously, I did the Sunday survey thing. That went out. And people just said, don't have the funds, don't have the funds, don't have the funds.
When did you do it?
When did I do what?
The last one, that was 3%.
It's just finished now, this Sunday.
Okay.
So it's not completely finished. I mean, I've still got a couple of calls in the pipeline. I've got 3 calls in the pipeline. Okay. Maybe that'll push it up a little bit.
So you're actually in the middle of it right now, same as me?
Yes.
When did you make your offer then?
Sorry?
When did you make your offer to everybody?
On the Wednesday, last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Because the challenge before...
Oh, you're doing launch week. Right, so you did your challenge last week in this week's launch week. Is that right?
Yes. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I forget all the terminology. I'm trying to get my head around his terminology.
I get it.
This is launch week for the full price, not the early bird price. This is launch week for that. So it could very well change. I mean, obviously all the emails and everything are still in place. Everything's still going.
You'll be surprised how many people buy like last minute, as you well know. So
yes,
I would just see what happens at the end of the week and then make the judgment. And then do it again and see if there's consistency of it just being 3. You'll probably bump that up to 5%. But I think once you do 2 or 3 and you follow the same pattern, kind of then get some data to kind of collaborate with. When's your next one?
Next one is, oh bloody hell, 24th of August. That's when we kick off. So there's 2 weeks promotion. Well, I mean, I'm going to be promoting all the time now anyway, which I haven't been, you know, the thing is about me, like sort of the visibility. I mean, artists are, I mean, I'm an artist first and foremost. That's what I do. And we're a weird bunch, you know, we really are.
I definitely know. I've met some artists.
Total weird bunch. Loads of resistance from artists, you know, lack of self-confidence and all of that kind of stuff, which is obviously the key thing that I work around. To me, it's all about mindset. You know, you can have the best system in the world, but if your mind is wonky, those systems are not going to work for you. So, about in terms of visibility, I mean, I'm a content creator. I love creating content, and I'll do it consistently and put it out there. But what I really struggle with is getting involved and consuming enough content so that I'm visible in other people's worlds. I hate scrolling on social media. I hate going into those groups and those platforms. It's just,
I want to
be the star of the show.
Why do you have to do that? I've never done that.
Well, I do, because that's what we're told to do.
By who?
Various people. Go in and sprinkle your fairy godmother dust on everybody.
No, do your thing and let people come to you. Show up every single day. Like one of the things I'm going to help you guys do at the end of the year, because it's something I'm going to be launching, is content creation. And in terms of creating your own shows, in terms of having a social media structure, in terms of being able to be consistent with all of those things as well. And this is where, like, I think sometimes I even did it as well. I used to get sucked into the, like, you know, go in, message on 400 posts a day and try and build up your network. No, build your empire and let everybody come to you with your message, and stay true to yourself. You know, like the amount of time that you could spend scrolling through social media, trying to get noticed or trying to grab engagement, you could do that by planning your own social media content and shows and your content pillars to be able to build that over a period of time, which I think is for another, I'll happily do that in another Zoom call with you guys.
Well, that's what I do all the time anyway. I mean, I'm not a content consumer by any means, but I guess in terms of just making sure that I'm up to speed with my clients. Even just like poking my nose into their world, it's just, I find it super boring. You know, I just want to do my own thing.
Do your own thing. Do your own thing. Do your own thing. Stick to what you know.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
All right, Lee, well done. Let's go here. Laura. How are you doing? You just got to unmute.
Muted me.
There you go. Right? You're in.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah. Right, guys, we've got half an hour. Otherwise, Phil will bollock me because I've got a meeting with him and he's on his holiday, so he's already grumpy. So let's go.
Fear. Just that, always that fear and
what are you afraid of?
I don't know, but not being good enough, I think. I don't deserve, I don't actually inherently, I don't believe I deserve to have any more.
What? Why not?
I think that is actually what it all comes down to.
So you think you don't deserve any more success or clients or revenue?
Yeah, I think that's ultimately what
Why do you think you don't deserve it?
I don't know, because it's for everybody else. It's what I've always been taught since I was a tiny thing, and it's my big limiting factor. I've nailed it at that one.
Have you had?
Everything comes from that.
Have you had loads of growth recently?
Yes, and it's all come back at me. It's like eating, it's like dragging me down again.
Yeah. So I can relate. So you're struggling with what's called imposter syndrome now.
Yeah, massively.
So when was my last one? So we did we did one last month. Last 3 months have been insane. We've like grown by 400% in our business. And I had a moment and I was on the phone to Phil and I said, oh God, I feel anxiety through the roof that all of these people have just signed up with me and I feel like I'm going to let them all down. And that is just a natural human reaction to suddenly the responsibility of your business. You've just brought in a load of revenue, a load of new people, and now you're second guessing yourself whether you're good enough to be with those people. When in the first place, it kind of contradicts the whole thing that you're doing, because you are good enough, because you just brought all those people in. So obviously they see something in you and you are obviously good at something to be able to bring and convert all of those people into your world. And I think one of the biggest factors to that imposter syndrome is simply overthinking. Like you end up going off on this spiral thinking, what if? And one of the ways that I try to counter that is by I have like this little tiny journal. It's called like my reflection journal. or my brain dump, if you want to call it. And I write down every single thing that's going through my head, every question, every self-doubt, every what if, and then I simply make sense of it and put it into perspective, okay? And then asking friends, asking clients, saying, look, this is how I'm feeling. What do you think of that? And they're like, give over. But I think a lot of it rattles around like a hamster wheel around your head over and over and over again. But we don't really process it. We don't really deal with it. We don't make sense of it. So I think by writing a lot of it down, it allows you to express it like a journal, if you like, and be able to make sense of those thoughts that you're going through, and then go, well, look at where you are. Look at the people around you. Look at what you're doing for people. And you have to kind of reconnect with that. But that doesn't happen overnight. And for me, when you're trying to break a pattern of thought, you break the pattern of thought by action.
Yeah, that's right. And it's having those little actions so I can say, I need to change this because I can feel myself spiraling, and then I get to nothing.
Think about when you're in a relationship, right? Think about when you met a boy, like when we're younger, and you can tell, the senses that it's not going right. Okay, you can feel that this isn't right. Okay, so the only way to break that pattern is by dumping them, or you leave them and you go your own way, right? But that's exactly the same as an emotion, as a thought process, as something that's going through your head. You've got to be able to dump it, and take an action of some sort. Okay, we put on weight. We're going trained to lose that weight. Yeah. So tell me what you're going to do from here to try and change that thought pattern.
I've just got to start being aware of it, and then not letting it go anywhere. Just have it as an awareness, as nearly just as a thought, and let it go. That's what I think I've got to do. I've nearly got to make myself my own client.
Yes.
I've nearly got to turn up differently, and I think that's probably what's very hard at the moment, is because everybody's at home, aren't they, and all the children at home and everything. So you're doing everything's just everything. And I think I need to just sort of turn up and be my own client, and look at myself as a client, and somehow start working differently about my business, so I am a client to myself.
Can I give you like an action point? Do you have a morning routine?
Yes, it's crazy.
Okay. So in that crazy routine, whether you do this or not, can I ask you to dedicate 15 minutes before kids or husbands or anyone gets up, where it's just you, and you write down 3 things that you're grateful for?
Can I do this at night instead?
Do it when you want. I don't think I think it's like, I don't think it's as effective at night. And
I've been waking up with this negativity, and that's my problem. I've sort of come back to it. I've had it before, and I thought, oh, it's all back again. That, and it is I'm waking up with it, and that's where.
And that's why I feel that you start your day with this, because what it does is with my guys, I always talk about remember the mission. So for you guys, the mission is like what you're aiming to achieve, your vision. I spoke about this as in the 10-year vision, the long-term vision. So where you want to be with this, right? Yeah. And I think that when we connect with that mission in the morning, but we ground ourselves to have a good day, love you. And we ground ourselves to the things that we are a part of right now, and the things that are going on in our life. So the things that we're grateful for, how we got here, the thought processes. And like, I used to wake up every single morning when I first started this journey and go, and it's really weird, and I don't know why I associated myself with him, was I'm never going to be as big as Joe Wicks. And I compared myself to Joe Wicks all the time. And because I did that, because he's such an international guy, I used to feel really shit about everything I was doing. I was like, I'm going to give up. There's no point. And sometimes you end up comparing yourself to other people. But what I had to do is reconfirm myself to my mission. This is what I'm trying to do. And my mission statement became changing the world one man at a time. And that put into context what I was trying to achieve. And I think...
So I need to get a clearer mission to myself, don't I?
Mission statement. What's the mission? Yeah. But I think that when you reconfirm that every morning, even if you write the same fucking thing down every single morning, and the 3 things you're grateful for, it connects the dots for the long term, right?
So 3 things I'm grateful for. What else? Because I'm aware of the time. What else do you want me to? What else?
Things that are going through your head, all the negative thoughts. I want you to eradicate them by writing them down and dealing with them.
So I do meditate on the morning. I've started doing that, and I do find it very useful. So should I do it afterwards?
I would do the meditation after. I would, and one of the things when you meditate is often a lot of the thoughts that are going through your head will end up popping up through your meditation, which becomes distracted. And I think if you do your brain dump and you clear and you get clarity, you'll probably enjoy the meditation a little bit better.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, then I go swimming in cold water, so everything goes to pot.
Well, that's what I do. I go in the sea at like 4:30 in the morning. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
I go in the River Humber, which is not quite as nice as the sea, but anyway.
But this is stuff that you have to do every day. And like when we do the next Zoom call, I'll be interested to see any progress that comes from it.
I think my mission isn't clear enough. It's got very confused over COVID, and I think it's my mission, James. That's what I think my problem is. I don't think I'm clear on what I want to do.
If you think about what you said to me at the very start, you said to me, this is who I was aiming at, but these are the people that came in. And it's...
Yeah, and I've got really... Yeah. And a bit like Lee, I've got really into that. I got in those groups and stuff, and it's just not me. Good. It's totally not me.
And that is probably what's having an effect on your mindset, because you're comparing yourself to everyone that's on there.
Yeah, I am. I'm totally...
Get rid of them.
Yeah, that's honestly, it, isn't it?
I hardly follow anyone. So I follow like 50 people on Instagram. I don't follow any of these so-called gurus. I don't follow anybody. I used to follow everyone. And my missus would notice that. She's going, you act like him, you talk like him, you deliver like him. And you end up picking up those influences when you never become a true individual. When you're following groups and other people, I don't. I just put my content out and I log out. And that will clear your head as well in terms of what you're about and where you're heading.
Do you have Facebook on your phone, James? Or do you take it off?
I do, but I only look at it to do my group work. So I culled all my friends, people that you follow on your Facebook page, and I pay no attention to it. I literally don't scroll, and you kind of slowly get out of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's
somebody needs to do a 5-day detox challenge. I'm telling you, it would be a winner.
Yeah, honestly, do it. But those are the points I want you to work on. Think about them.
Yeah, it's my mission.
Yeah.
My mission will get me back on track, won't it? I need my mission to keep pulling me back to my path.
I love it. All right. Okay, nice. Well done, Law. Okay, let's go. Pamela, you're underneath Laura.
Hello. Am I unmuted?
Okay,
hi.
Let's do it.
Okay, mine's just a really quick one. So I was just wondering what you do, or if you probably don't even do it, but procrastination is an absolute nightmare for me. So I found your techniques really useful. So switching everything off and just focusing. Yeah. So I get up really early. I'm usually up like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I'll work from 6 till 8. And then that's when my little boy gets up, and then literally if I don't get it done before 8, then the rest of the day goes to pot, and then I just procrastinate for the whole day, and then I end up working until like 2 or 3 in the morning to get everything done. So how do you get over that?
Is it just you and your boy, or you've got a partner to help?
Oh no, I've got a partner to help as well. My husband's really good. Yeah, like he's got him now, but I just still procrastinate.
Okay, that's fine. So do you plan your week at the weekend? Yeah,
so I think sometimes I overplan. So I tend to plan everything. So Sunday I'll plan everything out. And what I find is when I plan it goes to pot, and when I just wing it, it kind of works out. But then I end up just all over the place, really.
So in terms of things that you have to do this week that we're in now, how many things did you set?
There's 4 things. So what I've done this week is usually I've got like about 20 things. So this week I just said, right, I'm going to focus on 4 things to do this week. Perfect. So I've kind of planned those things in. And I made good progress yesterday, but I still worked longer than I wanted to, and I didn't have time to do exercise and all that kind of stuff. So I just feel like I'm just kind of pushing it all out all the time. You know, like I'll just sit down and think, right, okay, 2 hours work now without stopping, but then I can't concentrate, or I'm not in the right frame of mind. So that's the bit I think I'm stuck with.
That's fine. So how old's your boy?
He's 6.
He's 6, and he goes to nursery school, so he's at school.
No, he's off. He hasn't gone back to school. Well, he's finished now for some holidays, but yeah, he's been off since March.
And he goes back in September?
Yeah, he's going back. Okay,
so you're going to have a temporary routine until September, right? So I think it's a case of we'll do it in 2 ways. So between now and September, I think what we have to do is kind of find your magic time, your kill zone, right? So
Yeah.
your husband at home during the day, or is he out working?
No, he's at home. So he's got a business as well, so he works from home too.
So you two have to liaise and kind of work out who's going to work in the morning and who's going to have the afternoon, right? So
yeah.
if we look at this and kind of go, right, you're 9 till 12:30, and then
Yeah.
he's 1:30 till the afternoon.
Yeah.
That means mummy's not disturbed. That means don't let him in my office, otherwise I'm out. Okay, and you understand.
Yeah.
So like that, between that 9 and that 12:30 is the stuff that you focus on and work out
Yeah.
right away. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that in terms of like your exercise, your morning routine, if you can, and this is sometimes the sacrifices that we want to make when we're super restricted to time, is
Yeah.
like get up at 5.
Yeah.
Have your morning routine between, I call it the golden hour, and say between 5 and 6, do your morning
Yeah.
routine, your exercise, your meditation, whatever it is that you do. And then from 6, what time does your boy get up? 8.
He gets up about 7:30, 8 o'clock he gets up.
Okay, so you can go from like 6 to 7:30. There's a real productive power work schedule there that you can do something. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can say, right, I'm going in the office once I've done my morning routine. You don't even have to go and shower after workout. You just go in there and you get the number 1 priority done for the day.
Yeah.
And you have some family time. And then at 9 o'clock, you then got 2 kill working zones, okay? From 9 to 10:30 and then 11 to 12:30.
Right.
What
Okay.
you've written down that you're going to focus on is what you do.
Right. Okay.
You just go all in, phone off, lock the door, barricade it, and just sit down and do what you said you were going to do. And then between 12:30 and 1, you do communication. So that's emails, social media, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
High five, have some lunch, husband goes and does his, and then you get the quality time with your boy without feeling guilty, without having to work to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I think let's do that for now, then come on to the Zoom call, and then let's start thinking about what's going to happen in September, because what you need is complete overhaul in terms of your structure and how things are going to work. And I think when you're not structured, when you have no clarity or consistency or those measures in place, that's when we just kind of drift, because we've got no clarity.
Yeah.
We don't know what path we're meant to be on. So let's see if you can implement that, and then let's see how you get on with that when we talk next month.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Happy?
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Right, Dale, let's do this. We are running on fumes here.
Hi. Okay. So I watched the first course, the academy course, and I immediately thought, yeah, I can do this. I said it for 2 weeks and I was going to get it all done. Then I watched the other one and I've just become, I think, overwhelmed with it all. And so I keep having to change the date when I launch the marketing.
Give me a date today, right now, when we're going to launch. Let's go. We need a deadline to work to. Otherwise, you're just going to, and you're not allowed to change it at all. Otherwise, I'm going to hunt you down. All right. So I'm going to give you enough time here. All right. And I'm going to say, let's go to 24th of August.
24th of August.
That is when you are going to start. So you are going to launch.
What's going to start the 24th? The actual challenge?
The actual challenge.
Right, okay.
Okay. 24th of August. You obviously going to start promotions on the 10th. So it gives you 2 weeks of a build up.
Right.
All I want you to do you know, you don't have to tell me what they are, but do you know your 5 challenges that you're going to do?
I did have, and I'm glad you're not going to ask me because I can't remember them, but I did do it. Yeah.
So let's write them down. By the end of the week, let's film them. Let's write the copy, and let's write the Q&A posts. Boom. By the end of the week. By the end of the week, you've already created your structure. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't look at I think you're worried it's got to be perfect. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting for you. It's got to be this perfect launch with the perfect videos. You know, I've got to earn thousands of pounds from it. You might earn nothing, but you would have gained in experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You've got nothing to lose. All right. So I think you're doing the same maybe as Lou. And here we're like focused on this theory. This is like overwhelming you, but we're not actually practically doing it.
I mean, what I have been doing, I have been trying to do the bot stuff. I mean, I literally have been following through the stuff, but I haven't actually created the actual challenge yet. But I've been, you know, so I've done the emails. Well, up to day 4, I've done the page, the landing page. You know what I mean? I've been on that stuff and getting quite overwhelmed with that.
So,
yeah.
When you break it down to the simplest of forms, create a Facebook page. Put 5 videos in there with copy. Put 5 Q&A posts in there. You're going to show up in the evening and do your coaching. Automate your emails and your bot systems. That's it. That's like, and show up. The magic happens when you deliver in that challenge. That's where the magic is. Okay, that's where you make things happen. And then what you do is go, okay, I've read enough of the theory. I'm going to practice this now. Let me read a little bit more of the theory and let me tweak on what I learned. And then we progress and we progress. And this is where, when I spoke to Laura about the mission, so your mission by the end of the year is to run 4 challenges. By the time the 4th challenge comes in, that's when I'm going to start making some money back. Does that make sense? Like, I want you to make money before, but I want you to go through the process of anything. It's like anyone that's in weight loss or in a relationship. We go through a process. You think when you first meet somebody, you ask them out on a date, you go on a few dates. Okay, then you go and have dinner. Then you think about having a holiday. Then you get interactive and then you meet parents. And it's like you get better and you get to know each other better. And that's exactly the same relationship that you have with the challenge. It's like riding a bike. We start off shit. We learn how to ride a bike. It's like anything, unless you can read how to ride a bike, right? You can read how to do it till you're blue in the face, but unless you get on one, you'll never learn. And I think you've just got to practically this week, it's only Tuesday, so that gives you enough time to film 5 videos, write your 5 copies, write your 5 Q&A posts. You'll have more clarity about what's involved. And then next week, do all your emails and bot stuff.
Right. Okay.
I can tell you're scared, aren't you, Dale?
Sorry?
You're scared about that.
Yeah, I am. I hate myself on video.
No, we could do it. You've got to break comfort zones, because this by the end of the year, being on camera will be just second nature to you.
Yeah.
And this is for everyone. When you're on camera, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Like honestly, just be yourself. Like that's all you can do. Like, don't try and be someone you're not. You got a great smile, so you're gonna you'll bring people in with that, and you got great energy. Use all of that.
Okay, cool.
All right, and if you want to share the videos with me, then do it. Stick it up in the productivity group and ask people what they think, or stick it up in Phil's actual one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
All right, so Anne, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I had to turn the video off because my connection hasn't been great.
Oh, don't worry. Have you got a question?
Okay, so really, really quickly, because I appreciate your time. So loads of things has been happening from following Helen. So I've been doing a lot on LinkedIn, and that's been just absolutely awesome. Everything's changing. Business is coming in. I've managed to get through lockdown with a massive client that's gone, and I've almost replaced the revenue through lockdown. So I'm really, really, really happy with that.
Well done.
But I'm not organized enough, and I'm not doing the challenge. So I keep interesting everything everybody's saying, but it's like I need help to know how to organize myself.
I get it.
So things are going great and money's coming in, but I don't feel in control.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
And I'm not doing the 5-day challenge, and I just can't imagine how I can find the time for it. And then I think, is that procrastination, or is it that I've just got so much other stuff going on, and that's fine? Yeah. So it's just.
Who's in your team? How many have you got in your team?
At the moment, it's just me, but I've got associates that I work in and bring in when I need to. But I have had to replace my VAT from the early part of the year revenue-wise, so I just haven't got money to pay anyone yet. That is something I know I need to do.
Yeah, I think that straight away alleviates a lot of stuff. I think this is very similar to Pamela, like in terms of organisation of your day and where you're putting your time and your energy and your priorities. I think this might be worth a live video with the whiteboard and kind of going through the structure in a little bit more detail. So I think I might do Monday after a Monday, and I think I will give me some context in terms of why or how you feel completely disorganized? So just give me like, just give me a little example.
Oh my goodness, I ran, so I've been focusing on my networks, and I pick up things like the Golden 10 from Helen.
Yeah.
I do a bit of that starts coming in, I follow through, and then it's the next thing, and then I'm designing content, and then I'm responding to clients, and then I'm doing a pitch, and then somebody will come in and say, oh, can you do that with me? And I do it, and then I think, I've run out of time to go and ride my horse, which is really good for my mental state.
Yeah.
And the work that I do is all around mental health. And so I'm a real opportunist rather than somebody who like has this wonderful plan that I stick to.
So there's one word I think you need to start using in your vocabulary.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You've got to. Otherwise, you're going to be ineffective as a business owner.
Yeah.
You've got to learn to like, so this is how I visualize a business, right? So if you think about the skyscraper, and everybody's trying to build the biggest skyscraper that there is, right? And you think about that as your world and your business, unless you dig down first and build the foundations, the sky is just, it's going to end up falling over.
Yeah.
Building is going to end up falling over. And I think you have built a huge skyscraper, but you have no foundations.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really helpful, actually.
And I think what we're missing is key time management, key personal management, key balance. Like balance, you're missing balance. And this might sound crazy to say to you. I kind of feel you need to plateau and stop bringing in clients just for 4 weeks. Otherwise, you're going to topple over.
God, as soon as you say that, my stomach churns. I think, oh my God.
I need money. But.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I need to pay the mortgage.
Of course you do. But you can't pay the mortgage if you're mentally fried and people go, your service isn't enough because you're not in the right position. So one of the biggest things that I always teach my guys is that you are the number one priority. Not your business, not your kids, not your house, not your husband, but you.
Yeah.
You are not at the top of this priority pyramid. Everything underneath you, if you're not on the top, you're below carrying it. So you're carrying the obligations of everybody else. You're trying to meet everyone's needs but your own. And if you're not at the top, you can't be the best entrepreneur. You can't be the best mum. You can't be the best horse owner. You can't be the best friend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's the best advice, actually, giving me permission to not have any more clients before I'm just about to go on a call with a big company that's asking me to do some work, which would be fabulous.
So,
and I'm thinking, holy shit.
Charge them. So whatever they ask you what the price is, double it. And if they're happy to say that, then you can pay for some stuff.
Yeah, you're a genius. That is so helpful.
1 second, sorry. Enough. Sorry. And
that is so helpful. It really is so helpful. I love how you think.
If you take that money, then you go, I don't take that money for me. I take that money to hire an assistant. And then
absolutely.
Can you do that for me? Like, so when I hired my assistant, I was paying myself next to nothing. And I decided to pay her wage before I paid myself anymore. And that's where we started my business. And that's when we were like on breadline. So I always invested in other staff before before I paid myself, because that allows me to build and grow. If you're going to build a big skyscraper, you need people to hold it up with you.
That's brilliantly, really, really helpful. It just reframes it, and that's great, James. I love what you're doing. Honestly, you are absolutely genius.
Thank you.
You just tell it how it is. It's so cool.
Well, I'm really excited because this is Phil's given me kind of like the platform to see if my methods work with entrepreneurs. So one of the things I'm doing late this year is something called the time domination. So it's I'm putting together a course to help people help guys at all the problems you've come up with. So I'm hoping to kind of take the entrepreneur world by storm and just say it as it is in terms of like
I think you will.
I hope so. We'll see.
Yeah, it's genius.
And it's
you better go, because otherwise you'll miss Phil and he'll tell you off.
Can I just have a quick comeback?
Please, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
The 31st of August is going to be Bank Holiday Monday, so I think Phil mentioned avoiding bank holidays. I'm just wondering if the Friday.
How about the 20? So I think no, we were going to go for the 24th of August, right?
Yeah, we were. But does it matter that the Friday is likely to be a long bank holiday weekend for many people, or do we not worry about? I seem to remember that Phil mentioned something about avoiding bank holidays.
It hasn't affected any of my challenges, but if it did, and you did it, it might knock your confidence slightly in terms of like, oh, I was building up momentum. Now everyone's fucked off on holiday. So I think if we look at this and go, let's go 7th of September and go the week after. What do you think? Do you want to go sooner?
I think I need to go sooner.
Go sooner then. Like 100%. Let's go. So how about the 17th?
Yeah.
That excites you. That's a more exciting place than the 7th of September.
Obviously, it means I've got a lot to do in.
You've got a lot to do.
In less time. Yeah.
Right. So prioritize that time.
Yeah.
Happy. Cool.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah.
Right, guys, we do this once a month, and kind of come back on. So what I will do once I finish my meetings today, I will put up a post probably later on today and just saying, please put your action points down below from the workshop. Each one of you summarize, reflect what you've got from it, and then put what you're going to do so that when we get into a regular spot once a month, towards the end of each month, you can come on board and just tell me what you've done and if it's helped, and then we can like channel the next thing that you're going to go on for. The last piece of advice I would give you guys is, look, like try to focus on just 1% wins a day. One of the reasons we get so stressed and overwhelmed and we doubt ourselves, or we go through this fear, or whatever it is, it's because we try to achieve the world tomorrow. We want all of the clients. We want to be the next best thing. And that's the same for every entrepreneur, right? We're going to fucking take over the world. But actually, you've got relationships, you've got kids, you've got your own mental well-being, you've got your own health. There has to be balance. So remember just 1%, because it really is, like I said to Laura, about the mission and what you're going to achieve in 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Okay. Happy?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Brilliant.
I'll stick this up on my podcast and you can listen back if you need to.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers.